What's up, ballers? Welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe to get notifications for this video, and also it does something to the algorithm to make sure that more people like yourself can see this video. More hoopers, more athletes that really need this information can see it. So without further ado, let's talk about what this video is going to be about. Today, we're going to talk about why agility training and skills training and a lot of the type of training you see out there on the internet right now don't actually prepare you for how to be resilient and strong on the court or in whatever sport that you choose. If you think about it, most skills trainers, like here's Tyler Ralph, great skills trainer, right? Awesome. Nothing against Tyler Ralph, but he's asking you to get into certain positions, right? So I was just talking to someone on the phone about this. He was saying, man, like coach tells me to get lower on defense or get lower on my crossover or get wider with my feet and be explosive, but I don't know where to be explosive from. And he said he feels his calves and his IT band do most of the work. Now, if you think about it intuitively, guys, if you're watching this video, should your calves and IT band be helping you explode to the next position or get past your defender or get to the bucket or do what you need to do to be fast? Those muscles are really small in comparison to your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, your abs, and your lats. Sit with that for a second. Think about it. Spreading the force or the load or the power amongst all those big muscles versus spreading the power and force amongst small muscles. What do you think is going to happen to your body over time? There's going to be overuse. You're going to overdo your calves and IT band, and that's where other joints or muscles have to do the work to compensate. Now your lower back does it, your knees, your ankles, so on and so forth. So if you're watching Tyler Ralph right here do his thing, he's showing you this cool this dribbling drill. It's great. He wants your feet to get wide. It's awesome. But what if your feet can't really hold you here? What if your feet are collapsed? Okay. If your feet are collapsing in those shoes right now, what does it matter if you try to do the skills work? If your feet are going to keep collapsing, it's going to show up in the game too, where your feet keep collapsing over and over. What do you think is a more powerful foot? One that has a nice strong arch that can push off with the entire foot, or a foot that's collapsing to the ground over and over as you practice this dribbling drill, which is a great drill if you have the capacity to hold these positions. That's very important to distinguish. These drills don't mean much unless you actually have the capacity to hold the position. That's where training is so important, and training specifically to the positions that you need to get into for your sport. Here's another drill Tyler's about to show you. Again, he's doing his other hand. I'm going to skip this a little bit. Yeah, now he's going tween, grab the tennis ball. Awesome. Great drill. But to even go tween like that, this position, it requires hip mobility, groin mobility. Okay? If your groin and your hips can't rotate, how do you expect to actually feel the right thing? So your groin and hips have to be able to rotate to even get to this right position. If they don't have the capacity to rotate, you can't even get here. And where do you think he's going to feel this if he's not having mobility in his hips? Typically, it's the knee because the hip can't rotate. Okay, so your glutes and your hamstrings and your groin have to be strong enough to do this crossover move. And even this, now he's going to go tween cross. See how he dips his body and dips that knee? If you don't have the ability to do that, there's no way you're going to feel good. And that's the whole point of the Unstoppable Baller, is really understand how to get your body in those shapes and feel the right sequence of muscles to get the joints where you want it. Okay, we're seeing this even for what Phil Handy is showing right here in this drill. Tween cross. If he can't get his lower back flat in this movement, he's going to be using his lower back over and over and over. And you can tell taller guys, there's no excuse. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm tall, that's why my back hurts. No, you're tall. So what? If you can build the ability for your hips and knees and ankles to get down low, which anyone can, any human being can do this, then of course you can get down here with no problem. Have good mechanics, stay resilient, stay injury-free the entire season. Do what you love to do with power and explosiveness because you know what to feel. And that's the difference. Knowing what to feel versus just doing it and willing it because coach says to go harder. Okay? We're even seeing this in these fast footwork drills over and over here as well. I'm going to continue this in a second too. Okay, you can see this even happen on this fast footwork stuff. This is a big offender, I think, to a lot of athletes. They think they need to be fast with their reflexes and fast with their feet. But really, again, what does that matter if your foot's collapsing and sliding around in your basketball shoe, sliding around in your soccer shoe, whatever sport you play? Or if you're running just because you want to get more conditioning, more cardio, what does it matter if your muscles don't know how to fire and you're just dumping all the weight or pushing all the weight into your back and your knees and your feet? Where's the power in that? What are you training for? Are you training to dump into your back and your knees and your feet? Or are you training to actually feel the right muscles and stay explosive all the way through the entire drill, the entire exercise? You choose. Here are things to think about. Now, here's the difference. Now, check this out. Look at this movement right here. This is one of the movements we have our athletes do. We're having him create a lot of tension into the floor. What does this look like? He's changing direction. Okay? He's changing direction, using his hamstring, using his groin, using his glutes, his lats, his obliques to actually change direction. This is something you could be training instead of just standing there and hoping for the best. Okay? The same thing we see with our boys here. Now they're learning how to use their feet to push themselves into the direction they're trying to move toward. Okay? This is something we did with one of our athletes recently and really helped him and reframed how he thought about training. We had just a call with him, a discovery call where we were just talking about how he can change the way he approaches movement. He did a couple reps of this and he could feel his shin. See this muscle right there firing. Glute, his hamstring, his obliques, his lats, his opposite lat. He's like, man, my core is on fire. It should be. When you change direction, you have to be explosive through your core. So that looks more useful than just doing an agility drill. Okay, let's look at this. That looks like he's about to jump and explode. When you're about to take off and get that rebound, take off and dunk. And he's learning to use the right muscles to actually hold the position before he explodes. Hamstrings, glutes, middle back, lats. Okay, that's where it's way more beneficial. This one, okay, where he's learning to step back on his back foot, it looks like an extreme version of a hesitation dribble, whether it's soccer or basketball, doing a really good hezi, or being really spacious through your hips so you can explode and jump very high on a layup or a dunk. This looks more conducive towards you and your sport than just doing an agility drill or skills training over and over with your joints hurting and you having to ice your knees and ice your back. Okay, you have to choose which one's going to give you more return on investment. This work, which 100% will, or just the skills work over and over until you're hurting. Okay, that's the reframe. We want you to think differently about this. So if you want more videos like this, make sure you check out our Instagram at The Unstoppable Baller. Check out our YouTube at youtube.com/The Unstoppable Baller. You're probably watching this on YouTube if you're watching this. Make sure you hit subscribe for more videos like this. And if you're wanting to go a bit further with your training and really understand how to map out the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months of training, if you're either hurt or you're not hurt, and you want to prevent yourself from getting hurt and be explosive and athletic for the rest of your career, then make sure you click the link below. It will take you to a page where you can book a call with one of us, and we will sit down and map out exactly what's needed for you to go from where you are to being unstoppable in your sport. All right, team. See you next time. If you have more comments, comment below. Ask us all the questions. Peace.